Hi, I'm Darren Robertson, an expat pom, chef and part owner of the Three Blue Ducks in the Sydney beachside suburb of Bronte. It's the perfect location to indulge my passion for surfing, and I get out amongst it with my mates at any chance I get. I started my career in London under Michelin-starred heavyweight Mark Raffan, then on to Sydney where I cooked for famed chef Tetsuya Bakuda. A few years ago, I started thinking about making a shift towards more sustainable cooking, seasonal, local and fresh. But I've become fascinated with cooking over simple fire or hot coals. Just fresh ingredients, fire and imagination. I just want to see how far I can push that theory and what these simple elements can help me create.
So welcome to my charcoal kitchen. Let's light the fires, stoke the coals and get cooking.
I'm on top of the world, now I'm living, and the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, I'm Darren Robertson and welcome to this week's Charcoal Kitchen. Today we're in an absolutely stunning location, my mate's green tea farm in the Kiowa Valley. Behind me are the snow-capped peaks of Falls Creek, squawking birds in the trees and magnificent scenery every way I turn. Come on, let's go and find David and spark up the barbie.
David Angelini and his family have been farming here in Tawonga in Victoria's high country for generations. And no matter what time of year, the countryside here is lush, green and teeming with inspiration for my recipes. I've got a few ideas already for some cheeky little dishes to cook on my trusty barbie. All right, David, cheers for looking after us today, mate. So tell me, how long have you guys been at the farm?
We've been at this particular farm since about 75. Grew tobacco up until the mid-90s. Then Dad retired and I was wanting to be a farmer, but I didn't want to do tobacco. I don't like the thought of tobacco, really. So the Japanese came across looking for green tea farmers and I sussed them out and here I am 10 years later, growing green tea.
Gorgeous. So what's the difference between green tea and black tea?
Purely in the way you process the leaves. Black tea is a fermented tea, whereas green tea is not fermented at all. An oolong, you throw it in between there, so it's partly fermented. But yeah, that's the main thing, the processing. But also the Japanese style green tea that we do here, it's the climate. We're in a cool climate, as you can see, well you can't see, but the snow's there. Yeah. That's important for the green tea to have a sleep through winter.
Yeah.
So it shuts down March, April, and wakes up again in September.
Yeah.
That's, you're looking for little buds like that. Yeah, right. So that's our tea for springtime. Okay. Just that little bud coming up there. It won't grow until springtime, it's just going to sit there and wait. Yeah. But that's next year's crop, basically.
And I know that you've also got some other interesting things happening in those sheds over there.
Synonymous with Italians is, I suppose, salami and vino.
Yeah.
And that's what we get up to. Queen's birthday, if you know any Italian, Queen's birthday is salami weekend.
Yeah.
So the whole family gets together. You're lucky because I can show you into the shed and we've got the salamis pretty much ready. We can crack one open and see if they are ready.
So salami and wine.
Salami, I'm in charge of the salamis. Dad doesn't really like it. Dad's in charge of the vino.
Cool.
And other things, but the vino mainly.
All right.
So we'll grab a bottle of that as well.
Yeah, let's get amongst it.
Yeah,
cheers.
Go.
Right, mate, so what do we have looking behind these doors then?
I'll let you work that out yourself, but I'm sure it'll be good.
Oh my, they are gorgeous.
Yeah.
So how old are these, mate?
These have been hanging for about 6 weeks. So
right.
We'll be getting close to ready.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be making this. So is this first batch or?
Oh no, I've been playing with salamis for about 6 years now.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep some of the Italian traditions going.
Local pigs?
Local pigs, yep. We do our own salsas to put in there and all the herbs and spices.
Cool, and what's in the mix, mate? What sort of spices?
Spices, basically salt and pepper are the main things. And then we've got some capsicum paste and chilies, obviously, garlic, wine. Wine's pretty important for our region in Italy.
Right, so you give me an idea, mate. Can I grab a couple of these? Because I'd love to use them in a dish.
Definitely.
Well, I'll take them now, because I better get started.
No worries.
Right, it's time to turn the inspiration into reality. Let's start with some salmon. Tea smoked, of course, then a tasty salad of mushrooms and pearl barley with chickweed from the tea fields. And finally, a risotto salad with fennel, goat's cheese and some of David's amazing salami.
Right, so as we are surrounded today with green tea, I thought I'd utilise that on our barbecue and smoke some fish. So you can do this at home on your barbecue. It's just another great way to use the barbie and green tea. So you're going to need a wok, some tin foil. I've just made a little package there just to place our other ingredients, a bamboo steamer, and a couple of other ingredients to smoke. So the base recipe for this is really, a good handful of rice. So I've just got here some plain white rice, a little bit of sugar. So dark sugar works really well, but you can use caster sugar if you like. And then something to burn, to create the smoke, to create the flavour, which is going to flavour the protein. You can use pine needles, dry herbs, tea works really well, wood chips, but today we're going to use green tea, which is going to be fantastic. So I have here roasted green tea. So I'm going to pop this in our tin foil. So it's kind of equal amounts of green tea, rice and sugar. Next up, some rice, which is going to add a real kind of nuttiness to the dish, and also it helps the smoking process. Give that a really good mix. And then finally, some brown sugar. So I'll take about half a handful of brown sugar. Straight in. And again, give this a bit of a mix. Now I've got a wok on our barbecue, which is roasting hot. So what's going to happen here, we're going to pop the rice, the tea and the sugar into the hot wok, and the sugar's going to start to caramelise and start to smoke instantly. Then I'm going to grab a blowtorch and just start to burn the rice and the tea, put a lid on it to put the fire out, pop our salmon on top and let that hot smoke for about 7 or 8 minutes. Right, so rice into this hot wok. So you could just put all the ingredients into your hot wok, but to make washing up a lot easier, I highly recommend using a little bit of tin foil. So this goes in. The sugar is just starting to slowly, you can see that smoking already, it's just starting to caramelise. Now to help that along, I'm going to set fire to the rice and the tea with a little blowtorch. Just going to give that 30 seconds to a minute. Whilst that is heating up, I'm going to season our salmon. So season the fish with a little bit of salt and pepper. So with the salt and pepper on, I actually like to put a little bit of olive oil on top of the fish, and that just prevents it from drying out. So olive oil on and just cover the whole piece. All right, so fish, we'll carefully carry this. So it's on some paper over to our bamboo steamer. And also I'm just going to pop some salt in. So I'm going to smoke some salt as well, and we'll use that for other dishes. So a little bit of salt, and then onto our smouldering green tea. Lid on. And that's going to smoke for about 7 or 8 minutes. Now to go with that, I'm going to make a very, very simple, crunchy, sweet little salad using some corn, coriander, a little bit of lime, chili, and some avocado. So it's completely raw. So I'm just going to peel some sweet corn. You can barbecue this if you like, but it's not going to bother. So just peel off the outer leaves and try and get rid of all these kind of stringy bits because they're actually quite bitter. There you go. So for our corn, I'm just going to cut this away. So I'm not going to bother cooking it, so it's really crispy and beautiful and sweet. So I'm just going to cut that over a plate just to collect it all. So taking a bit of care because it does tend to go everywhere. And then just grab the back of the knife and then just scrape down just to try and get the excess juices. Cool. I'm just going to grab a nice big bowl and pop our corn into the bowl. And then a large green chilli. You can use red if you like, but just for the pepperiness and sweetness and a little bit of heat. So I'm just going to cut this on the angle, nice and thin. So that's fine. So it's nice. It has got a little bit of heat to it. So it's always, you know, it's highly recommend that you just taste the chili before serving, because you can completely wreck a dish. Which generally large green chilies aren't too bad. They're not that offensive. So you're absolutely fine with the kids. Now I have here some coriander, which isn't loving the sunshine. So start quite coarse with the leaves, and as you get down to these stalks, which of course have loads of flavour, we'll just chop a bit finer. Then you get right to the end, and that's that. So all of the coriander into the corn. And next I'm going to bring this together with a little bit of olive oil. So just a couple of teaspoons of olive oil. That will just bring it together. So season that with a bit of salt. So a really good pinch of salt. And some black pepper. Finally, a decent squeeze of fresh lime juice. So give this a little mix, and that's it. That's a really simple salad. Okay, so the fish now should be cooked. So I'm going to carefully lift the fish out and just straight onto a board. So that's at about 6 or 7 minutes. Very, very thin. Remove our salt. Use that salt for later. The fish on the board. I'm going to serve this with a ripe avocado. Grab a bowl. So just pop the corn and that coriander salad into a little serving bowl. I'm just going to season our avocado with a bit of salt and pepper. And then lastly, just use the rest of the lime and just season the fish and the avocado. And that's it, and that's ready. So there's our smoked salmon with avocado, corn, lime, chili and coriander. Coming up, a delicious mushroom dish and a tasty little weed.